Hi everyone, this is Whitehousefilms, and this video is going to be showing you how to convert your signal kits to have upper quadrant signals. So for this demonstration I'm going to be using, this is the ratio lower quadrant Great Western home signal, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just basically show you how to build this kit up from the ground up, but also show you how to slightly change it there so that you have an upper quadrant signal arm. Now, there are some. I've actually did a wee bit of research on some of the signals, and there are some signals that I've seen which did actually have square post upper quadrant signals. So, if you have a railway, if you want to plan on building a railway which has these sort of signals here, then hopefully this video should be just a thing for you, and I hope it gives you as much information and guidance as to how to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll look up the kit here and show you what bits and all you have. But first of all, I'll just show you what tools and all that I'm going to be using for this here. So obviously, first of all, you need this good cutting knife or scalpel. Also have a range of spare cutting blades as well, because sometimes these blades can often go a bit blunt every now and again. These blades, this came from Pineland, this one here, these spare blades, so I find it, it's quite useful in order to get some spare blades for your scalpel. Also, you'll need an emery pad, or an emery file, or whatnot. Also, you need a paintbrush, because there will be some painting required. I haven't got any paint on me at the minute here, but the paintbrush is actually for applying this stuff. This is Humbrol liquid poly, and this is what we're going to be using to stick any parts of the kit together. And I find this stuff really much more useful than the Humbrol glue, poly cement glue that you get in the wee tubes, and this just gives you a much more cleaner fix to for the parts to glue onto the model. Then also what I have is this here. This you can buy from any DIY stores or department store or supermarkets. This one I got out of Tesco's for about £3, and this is from the brand, the manufacturer Rolson, and it's just a little complete little tool set. So this gives you like all these little tools, so from like we small screwdrivers to even some extra screwdrivers. And also you have a set of small nose and pliers, wire cutters, and also a set of tweezers, which we'll be mainly using these three items here for this video. But if you ever come across these in Tesco's or anything like that, I would recommend buying it there, because you never know what, it'll be a handy little kit there in case, like, if you're taking your model railway to exhibitions and that there. It's a good little tool kit now if you have, just to have by your leg, just in case anything goes wrong or you need to fix anything on your locos. So that's what I'll be using here for this one here. Also, there's what I have is a couple of Pico track pins. Camera just focuses on there. Now these, the signal arms I'm going to be using here, they actually have a small pin-like hole, so I find the Pico pins might be useful in order to do this here. And talking of arms, here are the signal arms which we're going to be using for this kit. Now these ones were sent to me from Pico, and I'm going to be using just one of these ones here. These are the upper quadrant signals that we're going to be using, and they also have some wee spectacle things as well. This wee thing at the back. So the distance signals here, these are going to, if in case you're wondering what I'm going to be using these for, these are going to be for some static signals. So there are some signals will be fixed, so the arms don't need to be working in order to be on the layout. Okay, so I'll be back in just a few seconds here, just so we can get everything ready here. Battery's just about to go on the camera, so I'll just get it hooked up to the charger, and then we can begin on building the kit. Okay, here we go. Let's make a start on getting this kit out and assembled. So, just open her up here. And just get the wee bits out here. These are just the bases. That's your operating lever. It's the signal post. And then we have the arm and the string to operate the signal. And also you have your instructions with signal wire attached on the inside. So I'll just open these out. And I'll just move that signal wire out and just place it to one side here, just so we don't lose it. Alright, so there's all the instructions on how to assemble the signal. Now it's a lot more clear than what it was originally, because when I first began building these signals, the area where it involves like attaching the spring in order to operate the signal, I'll talk about that there in a while, it wasn't really all that clear, and so this is a bit more, I find that a lot more easier to work with. Okay, so put the instructions over here to one side, just so I know where they are. And we can go back and go through them again in a wee minute. Okay, so here's all your wee bits and bobs for your signal. Just to ensure that it all operates fine. So here is a little operating lever. So I'm going to be operating my signals on my layout by these little levers, and I find them really good detail on in your fill layout, because they have these little. I don't know if the camera can pick it up that well here. See if the light's right, but there's a little. You just see. Let's see, where's you can just make it out there. There's like a little border or something across it, and I find that quite useful for if I want to have numbering the levers, so that I know which signal is going to be for what, and I can mark them out on the track layout diagram in the scenery, not in the scenery, in the field yard, just so I know exactly which signal I'm going to be operating, or which signal operates is operated by what lever. So then also you have is your signal post. It's an ordinary square post signal here. You've got the wee rivet inside there just to accept the guidance of the signal arm there, and then of course you've got the little lamp just there as well. So we'll get that sorted as well. Now I'm going to be cutting this little bit of decoration at the top here, because I'm not really going to be needing those in my model, so they'll have to be snipped off. So, and then you have what you have here. Then you got your signal ladder, some detail-wise items, and a couple of weights. Oh, sorry, it's not on camera there. So there you go. You have your signal wire ladder there. You've got the weights and all here. You've got the wee boards and all for. Oh, shoot. The little boards there for the little guy to stand on here, supports for the ladder, and then also over here you've got these kits also come with a little ground signal as well. So I'm going to be also using I'll be using these ground signals as well for the model railway, and they'll be of good use indeed. I've also got a spare packet of ground signals as well that I had bought in for this project. So, first things first is to, oh yes, and of course there's the support for the post to insert in, and also the little operating mechanism for the spring. And then also there's a little holder as well for the spring as well, so make sure that you have these here in your kits when you're assembling them. Okay, so first of all what we're going to do is that we're going to just sort out all the bits here. Also, just to have a wee look there in the wee bits, this little bag of where your signal arm is, your little screw eyes there, the string and all. And also, don't know if you can see that well in there, but there's also the spring as well, because these signals are spring operated in ways. So, what we'll do now is we'll get the arm, the post here ready. So first we'll just check to see just how we check over the signal post to make sure there's any burrs or screws and screw cuts that's would need filing off here. So there's just a wee bit there. So what we'll do is we'll get our file and just lightly run over it. In fact, that's actually it's coming off there. Okay. Just lightly file it away, and if it sooner or later it'll be smooth off. That should do it actually. But I might actually just cut a wee bit of it off there with the scalpel. That's it. Just see this piece of pad has got like a coarse and a fine abrasive pads on paper on it there, so I can choose if I want a coarse or a fine. So just go over it with the fine there, and I should probably get a new one of these actually, because this is actually getting a bit old now. There we go. That's it. Now we're going to insert this post into the support stand. So this kit also comes with two versions. So you have one for round posts and square posts. So we're going to be using the one for the square post. So we'll just cut that out of the sprue. Put that to one side. Access. File it down a wee bit. And then use your post. Just to test fit it here to make sure that all goes in place okay. It's always best to test it first as well. Right, need to take a wee bit off this here as well first here, because there's a wee bit that's not fully going in here. Now, also see when you're inserting this in here, make sure that the post is the right way around when you're putting this in, because there can always be a chance. There can always be times when you actually, you're inserting this in, and then you end up realizing that you've got the post on the wrong way around. So you then have to cut it off from the stand, and then have to turn it all the way around. But it just wouldn't really look all that good, really. But when I was looking at the signal arms to see which way is best for this to be fit onto, I find the standard way, as you would put on the Great Western arm, is pretty much the best way of putting this the signal arm in. So we're going to just put it in that way, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to move the lamp. We're going to cut this wee lamp off and move it on to the other side over here, just so that it matches in with the arm with on the upper quadrant signals. So in fact, I think I might just take that lamp off actually, just so I'll know where it is. So just need to do it very carefully, and I have to be very, very careful right here, because this will be a delicate piece of detail that you don't want to get destroyed. Okay, that's it removed. Now I'll just put that on one side here so I know where to glue it back on later. Check the area for any roughness there. file away the roughage. Okay, that'll probably have to do. Of course, I'll take that thing away because I won't be needing it. Okay, so then what I'll do now is to cut this little bit off of the post, just so that, oh, there we go, I can just go into the bin. So then, test thread again, make sure it's a good, make sure the post is the right way around. There we go, that's good, good fitting, good fixture. Okay, what we'll do next is then we get some glue, get some of the poly, liquid poly, and get your paintbrush. And then just brush it on the base. Now what this stuff will do, if you haven't used liquid poly before, what this does is it actually melts the plastic and will sort of weld it to another bit of plastic. So making sure we're the right way around, and there we go. Insert it in place, that's it. So then, what's next for this now? Okay, we'll see if I can get, once we have the glue out, we'll see about getting this lamp in place now. I think maybe the best thing I can do for this here is actually get the signal arm out. Now, I'm going to be painting these signal arms later on before I fix them onto the model, so there's no big, rush and all in order to get these in. So what I'll do here is that I get I get a wee pencil here. So what I'll do is I'll just lay that down. Oh, come on, behave. I know. Get the box with a couple of these. That's it. Right. What I'll do is set that on top of that, and then just, in fact, what I'll do, I'll get the tweezers out, because I'll be needing those in a minute. Needing those for this here anyway. Okay. So then, just carefully mark where that's going to go. Okay. Camera might not pick it up that well here, but there's just a wee light mark just to show where I'm going to have the lamp fixed in place. So get the poly cement again, the liquid poly again, then just lightly, just brush a wee bit on the area there. And you get your lamp. And just fix it in place like that. Of course it's not really the right way round, but I can easily fix that come painting. Obviously these signals aren't going to be lit, because don't want that much lighting on the layout. Now we don't need that one. Here we are. Just check it again, make sure that's in the right place. Just a wee bit down there, so there. That's it. And then just to ensure, make sure that it's a good seal. Just brush on some more poly. Whoops. Of course, this usually can happen, so it's just a matter of trial and error, just to try and, or just be as careful as you can. So this stuff will eventually set in a few minutes, like, but it's just so that you can get enough. There's plenty of glue to secure that in place. Okay, let's let that dry for a bit. I'll just check it again with the arm, make sure they're okay. And we are good. That's good to know. Okay, so next what we'll do is let's see what's next in the kit. Right, so this here is about okay, I think what I'll do is I'll start fitting on, whilst we're waiting for that wee lamp to dry and that there, I'll start cutting out the ladders and the other details for the kit. So I'll just put that to one side so that we'll let that lamp dry off. Now, when you're cutting these out, the ladder is the most delicate part of the kit, so you have to be extremely careful when you're cutting it out of the sprue, because it can be very easy just to, you know, be a bit rough when cutting it out of the sprue, and you can easily break a bit off the ladder. So just take extreme care when doing this. And if you do happen to cut a bit off, or part of it is broken when you're cutting out a sprue, just quickly run over with a bit of liquid poly, and that should do it okay for you. Oh, bite stuff. Food for thought maybe for Pico. Might be better to have maybe these ladders be made from brass, etched brass. This might be a bit stronger. Right, just try and carefully cut away some of that excess sprue. Being ever so careful not to damage the rest of the kit. Alright, I just noticed here that there's a wee bit here which has been got damaged, so as I said before, I just run it over with the liquid poly. In fact, just for safe measures, just go over the whole thing with a quick brush of liquid poly just to seal any cracks that may have been formed. Also, I just noticed here I'm getting bits of the part of the sprue cutting on that there. Yep, that's you off. Get off. Okay. Let's put that on the side. Then we get the weights. The weights here will be placed at the bottom of the signal. So let's put that on the side, one there. Then I have the wee board for little guy to stand on when checking the signal. Oh. There. And also this little item for supporting the ladder. Now, just having a look here now. No, it doesn't say anything about those. Okay, I'll leave the ground signals till later on, and just as soon as I finish the conversion, and then I'll show you. They're very simple to do here, and I'll just show you later on here how to do that. Okay, we get our signal. It's now dried, and what we'll do now is that we'll go over the areas where we're going to be having this in place. So first off is the bottom section. Just brush on some blobs of liquid poly, and then making sure this goes on the right way. Just so you know, I'll just show you very quickly here. Get the tweezers here to show you better. Just so you know here, this bit here goes into the signal post here, and that end goes onto the ladder, just so you know, just keep that in mind. Also, apologies here if the camera's not focusing that well here on this here, because I'm using one of my older ones. So then what you do is that you just fix that in place like so. Come on, there you go. That boy in place. And then give a little boy, if not, we stand and fix that on there. Again, just quick dab over with the poly just for extra strength. Now, if you, because this poly melts part of the plastic here, you will get some of the colour from the plastic here onto the white. Now, in all fairness, I actually don't mind that there, because in my opinion, it actually sort of maybe helps weather the signal in some way. So you're actually weathering the signal whilst you're assembling it. So I find that quite useful. So that's place. And then we'll get the weight to secure in place and all that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the weight on this side here, on the signal's right hand side. So just a wee blob there, and then get the weight with the main weight at the front, and just put it in place and just hold it carefully so the glue can make contact. And again, for safe measures, just extra blob. There we go. So now we'll get the ladder fixed on. What it is that we'll put a blob here at the bottom. There's a little thing here at the bottom. Don't know if you can see that that well. That little T bit at the bottom here. That's just for holding the ladder. Yeah, a little blob there, and a blob there. Oh, just a bit type over there. Yeah. And then we get the ladder. And obviously, there's when you look at the ladder, one end of it here doesn't have the wee spikes projecting out. So this end here, where you have the spikes, the wee size and all spiking out there, that'll go at the bottom, whilst these bits here, this end here, goes at the top. So starting from the bottom up. Just very carefully. Oh. Right, that's the slot in. And then get you in here. And then there. Oh. Get some poly just to fix that in place. Now this signal is going to be part of it's going to be placed on the quarry line, because it's I'm just following it by the kit's structure here. It's going to be one of the tall signal single arm signals. Right, so there's a wee bit of a bend here in the ladder here, so I'm just holding that in place until the glue sets. So oh, come on, you stay in place, do as you're told. I think maybe somebody said that the poly glue takes about maybe 40 to 30 seconds or so to dry, I think, or roughly 20 seconds. I think I may have heard it somewhere in one of Bob Symes' videos. It shouldn't really take that long. There we go. That's in place. So we'll just let that just leave that to sit on the side there for a minute, just so it'll let it dry. Okay, then we'll come back to that there in a few minutes.